Hey guys, how you doing? In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to install the Midland MXT 275 radio or GMRS radio in your 21 Ford Bronco or later. If you haven't seen his channel, Trail Recon does a really good explanation of how to run the wires, what parts to buy, and all that, and a really detailed installation video. I'll link his video in my description. I recommend you check that out for more details. Mine is just going to be some tweaks I made to his method, some things that worked better for me on the trails I've run here in Northern California, and some of the issues I had with his, mainly being his adhesive for his mount for the paddle mic. It just kept coming off. The heat's too much, the adhesive melt right off, and that thing kept popping off. So I'll show you that. I'll show you how I mounted my antenna, which is a more sturdier setup than his, and looks a little cleaner in my opinion. And also where I'm mounting the GMRS, the radio mount itself inside the vehicle, which is also a little different than his. I'll show you my old method, my temporary solution, and then I'll show you my more permanent solution that's actually really cheap. So I'll link everything in the description. Hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, here you go. Alright guys, so to start out with, we'll do the antenna I used. And it is the same one that Trail Recon recommends. It's the 3dB Midland USA GMRS radio antenna. And the way I mounted it to the Bronco is Trail Racks makes a trail sight bracket that mounts perfectly with the existing bolts right up to that trail sight. And it just fits right in there like a glove. The fit and finish is perfect. My bolts are a little rusted on the ones they're making now. They actually do not have that rust issue that was fixed, so you will not have that. And then from there, what I did is there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can route the cable through the trail sight down here and it will go in, or you can do what I did and just wrap it around here. It pinches a little bit, but not in anything that's going to hurt anything. It's been like this for 5 months now and no issues. And then from the cable down, I have a rat's nest of cable. I have a lot of stuff I've done to this Bronco, but I just hooked it down here with some zip ties, ran it through there, and then hopefully you can see it, but there's a grommet right there. I poked a hole in the grommet and the cable runs right into the dash. So that's how I ran that. Super easy. The grommet is there for this purpose, so don't be afraid to poke a hole and stick your cable through. Alright, next up we have the cable coming from the grommet right there. If I can get it to focus. Yeah, from the grommet. Comes out to right here, and then I run it along right here just with some zip ties, and then I pushed it through here. You can also push it through there, anywhere you find a hole that goes through to the other side, honestly, and then just use zip ties right here to keep it in place. You just want to be mindful of your pedals and make sure nothing's interfering with the operation of that. Alright guys, so this is the dirty and quick install I did, which I'm going to be rectifying today. But after the cable comes through into the passenger compartment, I wrapped it around, tucked it behind here, and brought it over to my Midland unit, which I have here. This is held on with double-sided tape mounted on the bracket, and it worked for a few months, but then once it started getting hot, the adhesive melts and it just slides right off and the whole unit falls down. And it's been doing that every day. Anything over 90 degrees, it falls down. So that's what I'm going to be fixing today. The adhesive was good, it was temporary, it worked all right. Now we're going to be mounting it permanently, as well as the power. The power right now I just have tucked under here and going into the cigarette lighter in my glove box, or my center console, I mean. So as far as the paddle mic, I used a 67 Designs arm that they sell on their website. It is expensive, it's $99. This is a 1/4 by 20 thread pitch on this Bronco mount, so you can make your own probably, but this bolts right in. It's a magnet. I super glued a magnet onto the back of my paddle mic, and that is great. Like, it clears there, it's not rubbing. I've been off-roading it, pretty bumpy trails, and this does not fall off. And it's not going anywhere, so it works well for me. And yeah, it was worth the money in my opinion. Okay, so the goal today is to take this radio unit and mount it up behind the glove box. And to do that, we have this bracket for mountains to metal, which I'll link in the description. It only cost, I think, $35. Don't quote me on that. And it came with some hardware too. It did not come with instructions, just a picture. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm gonna figure it out on my own, and then hopefully you guys will just be able to use this video to do it easy. It should be quick and simple, so we'll get started. So the first step is to take out this glove box, and there's a clip here and a clip here. You push those, and it will drop down. Now I'm doing this one hand, so I will do it real quick and then show you. Okay, that took 2 seconds. I just pushed these two clips in, and it dropped right down. And now I have access to the behind the glove compartment. Okay, the next step is you take the mounts to metal bracket with the logo facing forward and the bends going up, and you take your bracket for the the unit, and you just install that with the 2 screws it comes with, like this. After that, you put the unit in the mount, just pushes in on the grooves that it has until it clips, about right there, and then it's clicked in place, and then we gotta mount it. Alright, so the instructions are pretty crappy at this point, but essentially you take the bracket with the back end or the forward facing out or towards the engine. You put it up between these 2 posts and just orient it in a way that these holes line up with the furthermost holes on the bracket, and then put your bolts in, and that's pretty much it, and then we'll wire it up. For the bolts you're going to use, it's going to be these black ones. It's a T25 Torx bit. So T25 Torx bit, and the ones that go in right there. You can kind of see how that is lining up. Okay, so you probably want to do this before you put it in. I might end up taking it out and doing this, and then, but anyway, your kit should have come with a extension for your paddle mic, because with this going all the way up in there, it just really pulls tight on this cable. So use this, tuck the extra ends up where you don't need to, and zip tie wherever you want, but you want to route this. It's going to go to the front of the unit, come through here, and come out the bottom there and connect to this. So we'll go ahead and route that right now. I might end up taking this back out to do that, but we'll see. Alright, so that was pretty easy. I just took the bolts out, took the unit back out, and then ran this cable to the front, and then I wrapped it around the inside of this bracket so I can run it down back there and stow the extra up in the empty space right there. Alright, so that was pretty easy. Went ahead and connected the antenna right here. It's routed through there. And then this wire, and I zip tied it up to one of these little metal tubes. Easy peasy. And then I ran the paddle mic wire that is zip tied up down, pulled out this plug. It's just a little push thing. Stick your finger through here, push it, pulls it out, and then pull this right out, comes out. And then what I did is I took this and I wrapped it down behind here, around that, then put the screw back through so that holds this tight in place, out of the way, and it gives me all the slack I need for my paddle mic. And next is going to be power, and then we're done. Okay, next we're going to take this power cable between we ran those other cables through there over to the driver's side to put back through the firewall. And before we do that, we're also gonna cut these wires right here so we can wire it up to the battery. Alright, so then I take the some extra cable I have and I run it through there, bring it over here, and then I connect it to my ground, and then I'll do the same again, and I'll connect that other one to my my power, and then I'll pull this wire tight and snug it out of the way and connect to my battery. Okay, so after you get those wires connected to this power line, after the fuse relay, go ahead and start wiring it through. Leave some slack, we'll tie that up later, and I'll show you the other side. Okay, so you'll bring it through here, mark it, but basically the blue wire is my ground, yellow wire is my power. Come around here, we're gonna tie this up out of here, out of the way, so it's not interfering with our pedals. And then it's gonna go through that same grommet right there. Right there. And then from that grommet, it's gonna come through the firewall. We're gonna come out here, and then we're gonna hook it up to some connectors and attach it to our battery leads, and then we'll have power. Alright guys, and that's pretty much it. We're gonna come here, we're gonna tuck this up and clean it up where we want it to be. But that's it for the install. Got my wires hooked up, and then come around here. This wire's coming up here. I'm gonna go through and clean it up and then show you the finished product. Alright guys, the install is done. As you can see, nice and clean. This is hanging in there and it's snug because the cable's coming around there. This comes out here. And it will turn on, I promise. Turns right on. And we're good to go. Thanks for watching.